castle in the sky. Even ethereal dreams can come true. November 21st, 1099. 11 p.m. Hammer. Mission elapsed time. 3 minutes? Is that minutes or hours? I'm not sure. Ugh. Whew. Freezing around here. Asshats keep shutting off the heaters. How many complaints am I going to have to file before they realize we're here at night on overtime? Hey, honey. What are you calling for? Hold on. I'll speak to you outside. What day is it today? 9 days out from the project deadline. Progress is looking bad for us. I won't be home today either, no. Our anniversary? Ugh. Sorry, it's been crazy the past couple days. I know, honey. You've been looking forward to that restaurant forever. I know. I'm sorry. The VP was touring Rhine Lab. So the egghead idiots on the board have been going insane. They're forcing every project to produce interim results immediately. Or else we're all SOL. I'm not coming up with excuses, honey. It's just... Listen, I can't do today. I'll make it up to you some other time. I swear. Hello? Honey? Are you there? Shit. If only something would just happen. I want the offices blow up. I want goons rob a bank. I don't try out stupid city treads just snap in half. Anything. Night gradually sinks in. The office lights are set for another all-nighter. The shadow caging in this one pitiable researcher. He gives a shiver. They say snow's coming in a few weeks. Someone bumps past him out of nowhere. Okay, my fault for hoping. Eventually he shuffles his feet, stepping back into the high-rise. Just as he's stifled his urge to stay outside a little longer, an irritating droning noise emits from far off. Catastrophe alarms, sounding with no warning. A PA demanding evacuation echoes through the streets. The researcher subconsciously leans to hurry his gait, but suddenly, he notices everyone around him coming to a slow halt. All gazes drawn at once towards the sky. With great skepticism, he lifts his head again. What the hell is that? A massive torrid, in sluggish revolution, rises up from behind the building. In the dark, as mechanical devices unfold, the neon of the city that glares off the upper surface becomes one with the surface. Metal luster shining too brightly for the naked eye. It is so imposingly majestic, so impossibly elegant, that it could only be the stuff of the most beautiful dreams ever dreamt. It pierces through the clouds. Inexplicably, it rises still. Some kind of ring? 7:13 p.m. Hammer. Mid-flight. I'm very interested, of course. Extremely interested. Really? Well, that's swell. If our project can get Ryan sponsorship, take a seat, ma'am. Anything to drink? Plain water will be fine. Justin, sir. Please, call me Justin Jr., even. How about some wine? War took the Gaulish Empire, but I thank the troops for leaving us the best vineyards intact. Please, if you insist. Thank you. Come in. Director, your office phone has been ringing nonstop. Tell them I'm busy. You have some friends of yours looking for you. Mayor Benjamin, Councilman Chris, Deputy Phil, Commander Colette. Who else? You have a Mr. Lewis, the one in charge of the industrial sect. They say, who might you be, ma'am? Sorry. I'll wait outside. Don't worry about it. No secrets here. Go ahead. Right. They appear to be extremely unhappy with the articles you deposited at Plate 7. They were under the impression that the project was more of a ordinary one. Commander Colette went to Mr. Lewis, and I'm afraid all Plate 7 monitoring files will be lost by tomorrow. The mayor and the councilmen have returned every case we've sent them over the past few years and declared they'll no longer be seeking your aid for campaigns. The deputy made some very radical statements. I heard he's gotten an emergency arrest warrant for the state prosecutor. And he's, I hear he's, and he seems to be on the way here now. I've notified defense, but we can't keep them away for long. Here I swore we got along well enough. How fragile a friendship is. Wouldn't you say, ma'am? Justin, sir, I'm only here to ask you to invest. I don't think I should necessarily be on the loop on all this. Are you curious, though? What could Ryan Lab have that scares these elites and bureaucrats in black suits and white gloves so badly that they'd crawl out of bed in the middle of the night to get to work? I don't know. A nanodroid that extends your lifespan forever? Or something? Nice idea. If someone came to me with a prospectus and technical prototype, you know I'd invest. I am wondering a little why you'd call me up. Of all people. Have you ever heard of a Stade syndrome, ma'am? Huh? I've seen in the files. A rare hereditary condition, I think. Very rare. Very fatal. Highly fatal and extremely stubborn. Sufferers of it aren't usually expected to live beyond 45. And more than likely to pass it on to their children. I assume it was Ryan Lab that developed. Look, no rush to win your potential sponsor over. But yes, fairy tale ending. There's a miracle cure out for Stade syndrome. And while Ryan Lab had no involvement in the research, it goes without saying that many have reaped the benefits. Pity it arrived a little late, is all. Old Justin Sr. died of organ failure from Stade syndrome 3 days before they finalized the drug. Justin Sr.? He must be. Sure was. And his son Justin Jr. was informed after Big Wide Blue, after struggling in fear for a decade and change, that he could live like a normal human thanks to the med. Bam! The nightmare that plagued my family was gone. Like it never even existed. Only later did I learn the key element in the drug popped up when an intern researcher happened to mess up some reagents. That's fate. That's how it goes. At least you're free of the disease now. Because of a random dumb mistake? The incapable might call it a twist of fate. When the curtains are closed, pat themselves on the back for it even. They see it as a gift of chance. But I can't stand it. I won't stand for it. I have this phenomenon safe and secure in my own hands. I'll grip it. I'll control it. I'll dictate to it where it goes. A catastrophe alarm? Why does it have to be now? Justin, sir, we need to evacuate. Finally. Justin Fitzroy Jr. Well, it isn't the Supreme Court. You finally got me. What is your pledge? I pledge it will lead Columbia forth. What guarantees that? Is my participation not enough? Your many friends are dissuading me at this very moment. They tell me Colombian law shouldn't allow your people to continue in their unbridled ways. If a mere fondness for sending out cases of money does unbridled ways make, then what, pray tell, do Kristen's actions sum up to? Justice? You told me that it's not for the protection of any sanctimonious ethics that Colombian law works. It must hew the brambles for those who make forth. I asked then, what is your verdict? If Columbia's court pales timid and weak, then I should see no reason why it deserves my further tenure. Much obliged. Was that a Supreme Court justice calling? What research are you or Ryan Lab even handling? Easy, easy. Ryan Lab's no danger to the law. You're with a trustworthy firm. But, well, back on topic. About what I've been stashing in the jurisdictional care of my friends. Go pull the curtains, ma'am. You won't want to miss the show tonight. What is that? How is something that big flying? Is that another Ryan Lab project? I'll be honest, you're not really a qualified entrepreneur. You're a flip-flopper. Scare easy, not confident enough, always second-guessing. Got a habit of spending too much time on how you word things. To be frank, it's no wonder Trimontian investor circles don't like you. Lucky for you, none of that matters to me. Ryan Lab will buy out your power laboratory in whole. I'll provide you ample funds, and it will be seen to that all is done to support your research endeavors to come. If Lady Luck is on our side, and one day you rise to directorship at Ryan Lab, then it's not out of the question that you might get a little section carved out for you. Just as our young Dr. Franks got. That's... I don't understand. So much has happened today. Just say yes. Because luck doesn't claim the credit here. For it has been my decision. Where the hand of Justin Jr. reaches, there's random chance no longer, ma'am. I hope the lunatic to succeed. I understand, Director Justin. Looking forward to working with you. And welcome to the Ryan Lab family. Cheers. "7:25 p.m. Hammer. Mid-flight. Seems we finally found it, Colonel. Bitch of a process, eh? We weren't anticipating Kristen would have another propulsion unit ready to go for Hammer. She hit the whole contraption under a garbage heap. Now she sailed the damn thing to the Trimount's airspace like she owns it. This is all my fault. No point in taking the blame now, Colonel. Things are all headed for the worst case. Hammer is still flying for Shaft, bound for its upper surface with an ETA of 20 minutes. Based on what the manuals say, it'll be hovering within about 5 clicks of the shaft, which gives it maximal odds of taking down any ground targets in its angle of drift. But of course, Arco 1 is in no suitable position to launch attacks or counter enemy positions right now. Our plans never extended beyond demonstrated feasibility within tri-mounts. 5 clicks of altitude is something the average area unit just can't do. The considerations were all comprehensive outside of that blindsiding. We're dispatching specialist drones from the district capable of higher altitudes. But we still need more time. Meanwhile, we have every regular drone allocated to tri-mounts already on liftoff to interfere with Hammer's continued ascent as best they can. Effects look to be limited. Seems the military gave this ring thing some sturdy armor. I thought those Mainlander drones were advanced for Columbia as is. Outstanding work. Medals for all the generals, I say. The DoD has a hell of a lot resting on this. No point in taking the blame now, sir. What's important is we get the situation back in your hands. Into our hands, Colonel. Personally, I understand the pitch the Army is making. Ever since the Boulevard debacle, your people have been mighty eager to get back onto the stage. We're all Colombians, aren't we? Goes with saying, when I enlisted, I pledged my loyalty to Colombia. Kristen still won't contact us and won't respond to any hails from us either. These aren't the actions of an opportunist or kidnapper. But if this is a bluff by the military, we can't say anything for sure. All we can be thankful for is, no matter what she intends to do, the shaft is under our control, and always has been. She has no way to... Sorry, Mr. Vice President. Let me proceed. Colonel, it seems your people have some urgent news for you. It's me. I'm with the Vice President right now. Charging? Haven't we been in total control of the shaft this whole time? How could it... Shut the whole shaft down immediately. You can't? What do you mean you can't? How hard can it be to find a goddamn switch or breaker or whatever it is and flip it? Pull out the wires, kill the power source, do whatever it takes. I don't care what what facilities we damage. What? You're telling me you've done everything you can, and the shaft has not only failed to shut down, its goddamn energy readings are still climbing? Bring every ounce of explosive we have in tri-mounts. Blow that thing to Kingdom Come. It's already charged, and if you blow it up, the energy dissipation will level the entire city, Colonel. That's what Mainlander's agents are telling me. You've got a crafty ones on your hand. She's out of her goddamn mind. How much does she hate Columbia? What is she up to? Hold on. I can think of one possibility. The district. It's the district. If Hammer's angle deviates far enough, it's probably going to threaten Max DC. Our beloved president is still situated there. Kristen. She intends to destroy the heart and the brain of Columbia. We have to evacuate all personnel in the district immediately. Don't worry, Colonel. The president's just told me we're fine. Armed forces in the district are mobilized, and General Barry is taking charge of the defense there. She's promised me she'll protect the president with her life. General Barry? Oh, I guess you didn't hear. She's just been promoted. Carry on with your mission. With your mission, Colonel. Columbia still needs you in this dire hour. Anything else? No. Nothing. I swear. I'm gonna put an end to this insanity. Personally. Don't overwork yourself. If you'll excuse me. What do these orders do, Mr. President? I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure about this. Still, I won't question your judgment. I understand. I'll head out at once. You see that? What is it? Is that what the brass is after? It sure is a high-flying bastard. Where's it heading? Out of the city. By appearances, an energy accumulation device. Out of the city? A shaft? What did the Colonel call those things? Arco 1? Hammer? What the hell is this mad scientist thinking? What the hell is that mad scientist thinking? Idealism. Obsession. Curiosity. Initiative. It's a trend that scientists are tied to these qualities. Silence would admit, as a scientist herself, as a former Rhine Lab employee, that when she first caught that tremendous megastructure rising to the sky, she felt a faint tug on her heartstrings and a mortifying sense of pride. This company she once struggled for was creating, had created a wonder of the land, of the sky. She should by all rights bask in it, shouldn't she? Deception, calculation, sacrifice, conspiracy. She quickly comes to, realizing what this marvel was built upon. Control. Kristen Wright. As an ordinary researcher, she never had too much contact with Kristen. Perhaps at most a glimpse or two of the Rhine Lab control during wrap-up conferences at the end of the year. She still remembers the look in Kristen's eyes. In her eyes, there was only one thing. Scientists must be able to think about one thing and one thing only. And that is how to accomplish it. A scientist's sole responsibility is to push science to progress. That alone is more than enough to exhaust us. And where is it that progress lies? Whenever Columbia's waste sea rain, the vegetation quickly turns to overgrowth. When people hand down decisions from high perches, dictating what plants are of use and what should be disparaged as weeds, it never sits well with me. We need to admit, no matter what, that should not be described as progress. Kristen and those like her, and those who wear the same guise as her, they all lay claim to their vision, their direction, as the way that science's progress should orient. She wouldn't dare say she understands the secret of elusive control, but she understands the rest of them, and the respective costs of their journeys forward. Who will define progress? Who will watch over it? Hasn't it seen too many sacrifices beneath its heels? Science must progress, of course. I am a researcher myself. I sympathize as such. But we must be aware of the nature of the costs therein. We must be aware that science does not solely serve personal ideas nor obsessions. Is that a drone? Researcher, what are you doing? I don't want trouble with you, and the guys in charge don't need your help anymore. So you ought to... Hey, we're talking to you. The hell is she up to? The key! Your car key! Ah, you fucking idiots. She stole one of our cars? Is she insane? Shit. We need to... Silence! Silence! Where'd the girl come from? This is a military exclusion zone. The hell are you doing? Move it. Give me your car key too. Do you know how to drive, young lady? Maybe you need me to... Shut up, I've got this under control. But just to confirm, left foot was the brake, right? Damn it, Ifrit. GTA that shit. You got it, girl. Doctor, we need to leave immediately. I found Kristen's energy source. Things aren't yet irredeemable. The worst case possibility I anticipate has not yet come to pass. We still have a chance to stop her. What's a sarcophagus doing here? Kristen's plan requires mass amounts of energy, the scale and purity of which are both beyond any modern Terran's grasp, or even their imagination. So she's exploiting the sarcophagus's tech? The sheer vastness of this energy is more than a sarcophagus can provide too. So, why is she... I said, more than a sarcophagus. I hadn't anticipated their being in Columbia, buried right beneath these wastes. Doctor, I need your help. Your help is all I have. Rosemontes? Combat has concluded. She won't be in danger. I ask you have faith in her. She may still be a child, but she is nevertheless a Rhodes Island elite operator. And I ask you have faith in all the time you spent with her. Whether the operation in Chernobog or her days abroad Rhodes Island, not one past moment has been for naught. And these experiences likewise mold her even now. She will make her own choice, and we can only respect that choice. But right now, as it falls to her, so it falls to us too. 7:45 p.m. Hammer, now at upper shaft. Incredible. I've always wondered how you learned to fight so well. Busy with all those research projects. And I thought I made efficient use of my time. Do you never sleep? What are you doing here, Ferdinand? You took the words out of my mouth, Saria, after forcibly entering a Trimontian military spec ops bureau. What could you possibly be doing? Let me guess, you want to find something to chase after the airborne gizmo? Maybe hijack a heavy-duty army drone and tie yourself onto it, for example? Or is that thinking a little too simple, Director Saria? I never took you for the impulsive type. Out of the way, Ferdinand. I have no time to argue with you right now. Would you look at that? How sad. The only three... Well, fine. Scientific investigations don't count. The only two director control left out of her incredible master plan just happened to have gathered here. What do you want to do? Stop the madwoman? Or save her? I have no need to tell you anything. I assure you, I don't mean to criticize your relationship with Kristen. I was just waiting for you. Listen, Saria, I'm not here to get in your way. I said out of the way. And I said, listen. That's the sound of an aircraft. Ferdinand, where's that one from? The Horizon Arc project isn't just a super weapon. Kristen's floating through the air. It's a complete strategic program. I tapped into some connections to borrow an aircraft they used to service Arco 1. And blew up the rest while I was at it. Let me be clear. Look across all of Columbia, and you'll find very few passenger aircraft safely able to fly near barrier altitude. They won't need much time to scramble high altitude craft in the district. But for you, and for me, that time is more than enough. You're proposing a collaboration. You believe that you're seriously qualified for this? There's the same old sorry I know. As though you'd have the ability to quell every single problem, even if I wasn't there to help. But I don't have a single shred of doubt about this. In your own words, there's no reason we should clash. Hammer has reached the shaft's aerial space, and the shaft has begun accumulating energy. If we let the situation unfold as is, no matter what Kristen's up to, this will end with the Department of Defense exposed to the winds of scrutiny. And I'm sure we all know how Ryan Lab as an accessory to it will end up. And whether it be a clandestine military proxy or former director of Ryan Lab, you'll be finished, Ferdinand. Exactly. But I'm not about to give in. We can still make it in time. We can bring Hammer back down again in a safe descent before the energy excitation. And then there will be room to pull everything back. And is it your life you're looking to redeem? Or Ryan Lab? Does it matter? You have to be franker than that, Ferdinand. You've been ready with this aircraft. You've been anticipating that Kristen could get this far. Here I thought the busy work at defense had ground away all your researchers' insight. Still, I've been ready for less time than you think. Do you honestly believe this adventure of yours will rescue anything? You didn't think so? Then why would you be here? You know what feeling has struck me deeper than anything else lately? I feel like nobody cares about Ryan Lab's reputation. Everyone else is either out to see what research funds Ryan can get them, or their only interest is in what Kristen is doing. You may have considered how Kristen leaves the picture, but have you considered what will become of the company afterwards? Yes, I know, you've all been captured by her charm and charisma. With a little soul searching, I have to wonder if I wasn't too. Of course I was. But Ryan Lab is ours. With the blood we shed. I can't accept her setting fire to everything that I gave the sweat of my brow for. No matter what reason drives it. So I can swallow being a tusk beast of the military. Because I want to pull Ryan back from the brink. Is that so wrong? I never thought I'd see you telling me this sort of thing. They're very director of defense-like words, aren't they? Frankly, I should be getting a cut of your salary for it. I am no longer director of defense. Fine, once the dust settles on this, I'll talk with Jara about getting a raise. You'll need to be re-employed first. Still, you're right about one thing. Rescuing Ryan is far from my only aim. I need Ryan, and Ryan needs me. That's my assessment, born of reason and emotion. However, to put it bluntly, I'm curious. This is Kristen we're talking about. We know Kristen. The army wants to think she's out to blow something up, which is stupid. After working for her for so long, we know what kind of woman she is. And of course, you would understand her better than I ever could. Zarya, tell me straight. What's going on in that brain of hers? How far is she going to take this? I can conjecture. Conjecture? Very cautious terminology. Go on then. Are you conjecturing or not? Those drones currently under attack may be unable to pierce Hammer's armor for the time being, and cannot reach its altitude of hover. But shooting down this maintenance aircraft of yours would be simple enough for them. My guess is, the military in Mainlander are deploying even greater firepower right now. Specialist drones capable of even higher altitudes, even landing craft to convey troops. Their involvement in the front line is only a matter of time. We need to get your little craft, with near to no armor, and not a single weapon installed, straight through a net of drone fire. This definitely carries a little risk. I'll pilot. Suit yourself. Are you actually able to run this thing, though? I learned. Once. In college. 7:50 p.m. Hammer. Altitude, 3,000 meters. seems like the transmitter response has started growing stronger. It should be right around here. Still no good. Energy readout's completely blanked. You can't stop it? Not that. Thing's blown past max display capacity. There's nothing in the manuals for this. Then to hell with the manuals. I want solutions, damn it. No. The entire facility's energy supply lines should be cut by now. All of them. This energy. Where the heck is it coming from? So you're telling me this energy is enough to turn us to ash. It was just one lick. But it's coming out of thin air? The burden is on you to prove that hypothesis. Shut up and keep giving me solutions. Or I'll hurl you straight in there. Let me just give it another once over. Pipeline switches, energy nodes. Is this son of a bitch gonna explode on us? The manual says, I think in general terms, the current accumulated energy is now beyond the structure's theoretical safe capacity. If it explodes, what happens? I don't know. Hey, okay. Run me some analysis. If something does go wrong, will it hit Yorktown? It's not far from here. Yorktown? I'm not sure. Tell me how big it'll blow for Pete's sake. I told my brother-in-law it was a bad idea to pioneer out near Trimounts. It's a city of head cases. I'm calculating right now. The hell with this. I'm surrounded by science nuts. Crazy Poindexters. Don't any of you even have a single breaker in your brains? Every day with your million freaking amazing projects and just never just wonder what's gonna happen if you screw up. The minds behind Trimontian science. You built this giant bomb that activates itself. You literally can't even shut it down. I wasn't on this project. I got temp assigned to this work by your colonel. I would have definitely tested this thing a few more times myself. Zip it. I know you people too well. One little teensy weensy hint of success and it's like you all go goddamn blind. But wasn't this project led by the DoD? Okay, then they're all insane. I warned my Meemaw when she said her folks were coming to pioneer Columbia. Nation built of goddamn nutcases. Damn it. Are you done calculating? Shit, this won't work. I need to make a call. Why can't I dial out? Energy concentration is too high, probably. Thus impacting signal transmission. Damn it! God damn it! Is there anywhere with better signal? Some of the corridor? It's all fallen into chaos. Energy transmission can't be halted? So what is Kristen trying to do? Transmitter response is still growing stronger. It should be that transmitter Professor Parvis tuned his all aboard hammer. So why is there such a strong reaction here too? I have to... Is there a passage anywhere? I need to keep heading down. Silence. So you came. You chose this path to move forward. Whenever Parvis recruited for his places, he'd always tell me that the trait he most valued was a researcher's perseverance for progress. No wonder he graded you well. What could be on your mind right now, Kristen? This is our destination? For the past while, I investigated several former Trimonts locations surveyed by Ryan Lab, until I found this place. And the reality was little removed from what I had imagined. Kelsey gives the rock face beside her a few knocks. We're separated from the Horizon Arc project shaft by only a few 100 meters. I'm afraid Kristen has the way laid out there too, should you want to go sightseeing. Kelsey. Dr. Rain. I presume you've gathered that there is much more driving Rhodes Island to intervene so actively in the Trimonts affair, beyond simply who and what you've seen? What? Silence, Ifrit and Saria, Lucan and Rosmontis. Even the Revenant calling himself the Tin Man. All of them are simply ordinary people, far separated from the truth. With regards to the Ryan Lab commotion, and Kristen going out of control, the military and the melee and the Foundation are like weights once again, placed on the scales, trying to preserve the semblance of a civilized nation. But none of that is what matters most, what should concern most. From the very beginning, Kristen has been brushing against something far beyond anyone's imaginations, and with that as a focus, has launched a charge against the sky. I worry her actions will bring unexpected things to bear upon Terra. My intent was to stop her before then, but we were one step too slow. On Terra today, interfering in such things is no longer easy. Civilization is much more expansive than I thought. There'll come a day when people step far enough again. Why not share what you know with anyone else? It's not that I haven't before, but the end result is never ideal. You may suggest those aboard Rhodes Island today, Amia, Closure, the Hunters, with ties to Ager. They know a great deal already, which has helped to resolve their own issues. But when you plow the fields, you never pay mind to why the horizons form as clouds, rain and lightning. Yet perhaps you may want to know when the next storm will come. The arrogant acts of the noble politicians versus repeated catastrophe. The forecasted yield of crops versus new tax levies. These are things that ground life. The reality is, countless have no regard for even that much. They simply do not care for the fates of others. From a Terran's point of view, even if they did choose to believe such far-flung knowledge and information, what could they do about it? What use would it be? The wise that take note of all around them, those bare few, are the only ones able to maintain their thought. And the rest, when faced with things that outstrip their comprehension, more than often opt to laugh it off or persecute it, so as to protect their own comfortable bubbles of ignorance from any outside challenge. They are no more than lamentable, but the truce goes further because of them. I'm starting to wonder just what's ahead of us. Just promise me one thing, Doctor. As if I have a choice, no matter what it is you find next and think next, do not let it shake you. I am by your side. If you choose to, no, you won't. I trust the you that accompanied Amia and Rhodes Island today, and I trust that you're prepared in your own way, despite how inescapably scarce our time remaining is. Wait. Fall back, Doctor. What I just said will take some explaining. You follow Kelsey's gaze far, to where a dangerous silver glint perches atop the rock. A woman clings to the stalactite wall with nothing but her tail, almost like she's floating in the air, taking in the two of you with great amusement. You feel uneasy. It isn't whole Hayak's sudden appearance before you. Rather, that you realize how Kelsey, of prudence comparable to an automated machine, has made a mistake so rudimentary, even to you. Whole Hayok gently lands beside the two of you. Her mirthful smile draws scratches across your beating heart. I thought you were more cautious than that, Rhodes Island physician. But to be fair, I'm surprised you two managed to find this place. Kristen never even told me its exact location. Kurgulkan. Betraying the Maylander Foundation is tantamount to funeralizing your future in Columbia. What Kristen promised must have been far more generous than what Maylander could give you. You and your clan chose a path of no return, and you're trying to find the source of your race's power from control and Loken's research. I advise you to stop. This is not pursuit of the historical self. It is simply self-destruction. A vast time has elapsed in which the elders have lost their legendary powers, and now compared to the remaining ancient races have no... Kelsey's speech is interrupted. Whole Hayok's tail as quietly pressed against your throat. Yes, there's a sort of pressure. Your calm expression and tone of voice reek. One that makes your database of a brain capable of turning words into weapons. But you know that sometimes speechcraft just doesn't work. The sarcophagus from Loken and the files Kristen got from who knows where are enough to round off the stream that we've had for a long time. A dream filled to bursting with power and might. Look at this now. Look at me. My plumage, my flesh, my tail. Memory tells me how it's all begotten by my blood. A high blood by any other name. The Kulkulkan blood. I'm very strong, aren't I, Doctor? Please loosen your tail when you speak. I don't mind your composure one bit, but you see, if I felt like snapping your neck, then it wouldn't take much effort to do it. I remember it happening just like before, without all that fantastical equipment. Kristen's hardly stronger than the average person, and I could have just as easily throttled her. She downplayed, minimized, rejected power. I don't really like the oddball scientist type, but she made me realize, outside of my lineage, what do I even have? It's a cruel irony. The words she says cling to you. She humiliated the calling, and the memories I succeeded. I wanted so badly to return the favor, but she seemed so impossible to strike at. The placidity? Like she's gotten everything life has to offer. So placid. It made me envious. Made me want to claw myself apart. It shook me so badly. She won you over. What is it you want? I want to see how she ends, to guess her true intentions, to unearth her legacy, and then I'll snatch every last little thing that made up her mind when she ridiculed me. Maybe I'll find the answer, just like that, before I return to my long for age of the Kulkan unrivaled dominance. I want to know, in our modern sense, what worth that has. What worth I have. That's what I, Whole Hayok, want to do. I hope you won't get in the way, Doctor. Dame Kelsey.